Today we're going to visit a remote village in China known for its cave houses. This one-way road up to the village is narrow and curves around the edges of the steep hill. The village, its name is Lijiashan, is located near Chiku and a tributary of the Yellow River. These cave houses are dug back into the sides of the steep hills. The front of the houses consist of a door in an arch protecting the cave and providing easy access. The cave houses are almost 600 years old. There are hundreds of cave houses here in a village that once contained 600 families. Today, the population is less than 50 people. The land here is terraced. These terraces were created over a period of years and are used as a source of agriculture. This village is located in the Shanxi province of China. People here have been living underground for over 5,000 years. In fact, it's believed that at one time, a quarter of the population of Shanxi province lived underground. This village, Lijiashan, is the best surviving example. I was fascinated with the narrow pathways that snaked their way up and down the steep hills. These were the only way in and out of your cave home. These steep hills had been terraced over the years so that some of the areas could be used to grow crops, despite the steep terrain. Now you might wonder, why would you want to live in a cave house? Well, the popularity of these cave houses was in part due to the hilly terrain, which made it easy to dig the soil back and create a cave. In addition, cave houses were relatively inexpensive and easy to build. They provided excellent insulation from extreme cold weather or searing hot weather. Here I'm walking along one of those narrow paths that we saw going up and down the hill. This one runs along the edge of the hill. Think back 1,000 years and imagine the activity you would have seen had you been walking here and looking at the terraces. My guide, Mr. Gao, is on the right. He's talking to one of the residents still living here in the cave house village.
The main reason cause them go outside, what is get some job outside in city. Also, this is very important to send their children to go to the primary school. But here in this area, no school. So that's the reason, the second reason. So
if you didn't understand Mr. Gao's translation, the resident said that people here have moved into the city to get a job and also so that their children could get an education. There are no schools here, and education is very important. Here we see how the locals use the terraces today to grow crops. I only saw one chicken, but there must have been more. Now, there's sort of a hotel up here. I don't think it has many tourists, but they do have university students who've come here to do research on this ancient village. And these students at night stay in this hotel, and they get all their meals here. Because the hotel feeds a bunch of graduate students doing research on the village, food for feeding the students is stored and prepared for the students here at the hotel. Not only are the students fed, but they also have rooms for sleeping here. This room is used by 10 students to sleep in. The beds don't look very comfortable to me. Then, if you're a normal tourist who comes to visit and stays in the hotel, then this might be one of your rooms. It's actually a cave room. Much of the staff's activity is preparing food. A staple is tofu. Yes, tofu.
Tofu, yeah. 这是当地的。当地哦，那么结实啊。咱天来用咱有大盘，然后水的。啊。
They use coal for cooking.
你买的 yeah.
It looks like tofu will be a big part of tonight's menu. The water they use is trucked in and then stored in large vats. One of the big surprises to me was that these villages had locally grown dates. There are no palm trees around. From a distance, their date trees looked like ordinary trees. What a surprise! Before my guide, Mr. Gao, and I left the cave house village, food suppliers arrived with fresh fruits and vegetables for the hotel to be used to feed its guests. By looking at what was being delivered, one can guess the menu. A strong emphasis on vegetables. The food supplies must be purchased in the town, Chico, below, and then driven up the hill to the hotel. The transaction is cash on the barrelhead, cash on delivery. After our exploration of this unique cave house village was complete, we drove down a narrow, one-way road back down the hill and back to civilization.